Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're looking to connect with your tarot deck, then you have come to the right place. My name is Elizabeth, and on this channel, we work on building our spiritual confidence so we can listen to our intuition and read our tarot cards with ease. And today we are going to be taking a deep dive into the Rider-Waite-Smith Tower card number 16. The reason I'm going to look so deeply at the Rider-Waite-Smith is this is a central deck. This deck was developed in 1910 by Arthur Waite and Pamela Colman-Smith, who were members of the Golden Dawn. And the Golden Dawn is this amazing organization that took all of the occult study that had gone before in so many different areas: numerology, astrology, Kabbalah, the Enochian angels, crystals, herbology. They brought it all together and created this one system. And yes, they did make some changes to things to make things fit. And when we look closer at the Golden Dawn, I will talk about all of that. But for those of you who are starting out, wanting to do esoteric study, wanting to increase your spiritualism, then looking at these amazing cards that were drawn by Pamela Colman-Smith is a wonderful way to start. I went just recently to a Picasso exhibition, and even though Picasso is a really modern artist, his use of symbolism still came back to the symbolism, the classical symbolism that we can see in these cards. And it was amazing for me to walk through the art gallery and look at the paintings and be able to understand at a deeper level, even before I listened to my audio direction and read the descriptions on each one of the paintings. So if you're interested in taking your esoteric, your spiritual study deeper, if you want to know more about this card than just a top-down, this is what the Tower card means, then stay tuned, because I'm going to spin the camera around and take you on a deep dive of the Tower card. So let's have a look at the Tower card. Now, the cards that I'm using are from my giant Rider-Waite-Smith deck, which you can find in my Amazon shop. I have an Amazon shop where I have lots of goodies that I use that I find really good. Of course, you don't have to buy a giant deck. You can also buy a deck this size. I use a deck this size a lot. And of course, if you want one for your handbag, you can buy one this size. They're all available in my Amazon shop. And the reason I recommend this classic deck in the yellow box is because it has the classical colors. There are other Rider-Waite-Smith decks. I love the Radiant Rider-Waite. This is another gorgeous deck, and you can see that the colors are just that little bit different. They're a little bit shaded. And this is a little mini deck that I often carry with me in the tin, because the tin really protects the cards. And if I know I might be going to be doing a reading, I love to use that deck. So let's have a look at this Tower card. Oh, where can I put these? They don't all fall on the floor in my chaos. So this is number 16. And the Tower card, the Golden Dawn title, Lord of the Hosts of the Mighty. So just looking at this card, it's a card of catastrophic change. This is a card where life turns upside down. Even the structures of life, the government, in this case, the royalty, is blown out of the tower. People are blown out of the tower down onto the rocky crags below, and their world is turned upside down with sudden catastrophic change. So if we look at the numerology here, number 7, so 16 reduces to 7. So the other card that we have already looked at is the Chariot here. And you can see here that we're talking about, in here with the Chariot, having the confidence to let change happen and take control and steer your life. Here This is about change that is happening to you that you might not have control of, that is like throwing the baby out with the bathwater, that is absolutely catastrophic and sudden. So 7 is basically, it's about change, it's about options, it's about confidence, it's about ability, and it's about shifting of energy. So the other thing, I need to mention too, I looked at my notes and I'd written here, and these notes incidentally are available in my Etsy shop. So there is this sheet which has all of the deeper symbolism. I also have a really basic symbolism sheet and a worksheet for you to synthesize what you've learned from the symbolism. And all of those sheets are available in my Etsy shop, and I will put a link into the comments. I made these because I knew that people would say to me, "Oh, Elizabeth, we really want your notes." So they're there if you would like them. And of course, any purchase that you make helps me to keep doing what I'm doing on my YouTube channel and in my courses, my free courses that I have, because without your help, I wouldn't be able to do all the things that I need to do behind the scenes to make all that happen. I put a note here about the Macabre Star, and I thought, why on earth have I put... I've talked about the Chariot here being the other major arcana card that reduces to 7, and I've written Macabre Star. And the Macabre Star is a Hebrew word for chariot, or the vessel that holds your soul as it and your spiritual light as you travel through life. So that's really interesting that that could also relate back to the Chariot and this idea of the balancing of feminine and masculine energy, which the Macabre Star is all about. So you've got your feminine energy in black and the masculine energy in white. And again, you've got that theme sort of repeated here in the Tower card with
could you say that again?
I don't want to talk to you, Siri. Siri, she constantly wants to help me, and I never want her help. So the idea being of the pale grey and the black, or you could interpret that to black and white. So the black being the feminine energy and the white being the masculine energy. And of course, when we talk about energy in those ways, we're not talking about masculine and feminine, but more about your driving energy and your passive, more relaxed and creative energy. And what we want to do is have a balance of both. Now, of course, there are cards that are number 7 in the Minor Arcana. And when I do my series on the Minor Arcana, which is coming awfully soon, given this is card number 16, I will remind you of these cards, and we will look at all of the 7s together to help you internalize the meaning. So our timing is Mars in Aries. So this gives you an idea of how you could use the card for timing. So we're looking at March 21 to April 20. But the attribution for the Tower card is Mars, which is a planet of masculine energy. It's confrontation, it's competition, it's aggression. It's high energy of strength and ambition and impulsiveness. So if you think about Mars in Aries, if someone's born in that period of time, they're going to be a person of very, very high energy who's going to push through and do what they need to do regardless of the consequences, which in certain points in life is really, really important, and in other moments is probably not so important. So your classical element, of course, is fire. And you can see here in the Tower card that Pamela Coleman Smith has given a nod to that idea of the element for this card being fire, because you've got obviously the cape going up here looking like fire, and you've got fire coming out of the tower as it's hit by the lightning bolt. So fire energy is about driving away your evil spirits from the dark. It's a masculine energy. It's an energy of action, transformation, and it transforms physical elements. Fire transforms physical elements from one element to another. So we're talking about something that takes massive action. And of course, as I said, if you see the Tower card, this is telling you in a reading that something dramatic is going to happen or has happened. So if it was in the past, a position, or the unconscious position, It'll come out in a minute. We're talking about dramatic shifts of fortune, dramatic changes in the person's life that's happened all of a sudden. They may or may not have had control of what's happened, or it may be that they are going to take action. And it really depends on the person sitting in front of you as to what energy you're going to read from the card. So if we look at the Hebrew letter, we're looking at the power of speech. So the Hebrew letter Peh is the Hebrew letter that's attributed to the tower. And of course, all of the Hebrew letters sit on the seraphot of the Tower of Life, or the Tree of Life, which is part of the Kabbalah. And I will talk to you a lot more about this, but for now, it's good to know that the Hebrew letter Peh, which is mouth, and if you look at the shape of the letter, that often gives you a clue as to the meaning. Often the meaning of the letter comes from the shape of the letter. So in the idea of this being mouth is it's the idea of the spiritual power of your speech. So how you are going to speak in either a way that creates good or evil, and how you express yourself, and how your thoughts can lead to action. So in this particular situation, you'd be thinking about how do your angry thoughts perhaps lead through to angry actions, and how can you manage that? So your Hebrew letters are giving you a deeper understanding of the meaning of the card. So we've got the actual pathway here, and you can see I'll put mouth on there. The color is red, and we are going from splendor to victory. And of course, we're thinking about what was the pathway to get you there. If you are victorious, it's often as a result of dramatic and catastrophic change. Think about the wars that have been in this world. Often it's baby out with the bathwater, suddenly it's on, and then there's catastrophic change. So the Hebrew letters are designed to give a deeper meaning. And of course, when we look at the Kabbalah in deeper detail, we will certainly look at the placement of the cards on this Tree of Life and see what's near each card and how that also can impact on the meaning. Of course, these sheets also give you the traditional meaning of the card as well. And if you turn them over, you also get some symbolism. So if we look at the symbolism on this card, the first symbolism perhaps we might look at is grey. And the symbolism of grey traditionally in the tarot sometimes means strength, but often means confusion. And in this card in particular, I would venture to suggest that we're talking here about confusion. So we're looking at clouds of confusion, a tower that's just had its top blown off, so it's going to be feeling terribly confused. Grey clouds, storm clouds, stormy mind, lack of clear thinking, and then the black symbolism, which of course is predominantly here, the black sky, is you're looking at blackness, depth of where the energy is going. You can't see where it's going. In fact, here, there's no horizon. You cannot see where earth and sky meet. And that idea is that you've got absolutely nowhere to turn. Again, reiterating this whole idea of confusion before you get to the enlightenment of the star card here, which we'll talk about next. So we're really looking at a card that is the depths of dramatic change and confusion. Now, the yods here, and I've talked about these before, they're also present on the moon card here, and from memory, there are some on the Fool card from memory. The yods are representing the Hebrew letter yod, or the beginning of the world. They're symbolizing this opposing energy between things completely ending and changing with catastrophic change, and the opportunity for a new beginning. Because of course, in the face of dramatic change is this idea of transformation, which we talk a lot about, which is also present in the Death card. This idea of we're not dying, we're moving on to the next phase. And you can look at the Tower card and say, oh my God, my whole world has fallen apart. That's it, it's all over. Or you can say, well, yes, it's pretty crap, but I'm going to be able to transition through this, and you see it as an opportunity for growth and something new. The falling is this idea of your reality being turned upside down. So you've got two figures completely upside down, and they've been, blown out of the tower. And of course, they're going to come crashing down to earth. And as you can see, the earth they're coming crashing down to is not a beautiful, fertile field. It's rocks. So we're looking at some pretty dramatic change here. Lightning, sudden and dramatic and irreversible change. As I said, the crown blowing off the top is everything you've known. All the structures you've been so certain about are no longer. The flames represent your emotion, your passion, but also destruction and aggression. But also, flames can be read as something positive, that you have the power to face this change head on and take action. And of course, the tower, we've said the tower's grey, which represents confusion, and the tower is confused because it's been blown to smithereens. And it's interesting, it's been blown to smithereens by lightning, by the hand of God. This is not a raging army coming and defeating the tower. This is an act of fate. This is life turning upside down. And maybe when we talk about people having depression or their life overcoming them, it's often not just one thing. It's a series of events that happen that turn their life upside down. And in this case, what the commentary is that this is fate. This is not the battlefield. This is something coming along that was so unexpected and changing your life. But also the tower represents protection and power and security. And it also, being a tall, skinny tower like that, can represent narrow-mindedness and having this false sense of security that you're in your tower and you're going to be, or you could even think ivory tower. You're in your tower and you're going to be perfectly fine, when actually it only takes one strike of lightning and everything can come crashing down for you. So the meaning of the tower is representing this idea of sudden catastrophic change, whether it's happening to you or whether it might even be that you are causing this change yourself by actions that you are taking, or you might be initiating the change. But generally speaking, it's about something catastrophic happening to you. So that is the Tower card. I do hope that you enjoyed my reading of the card based on the symbolism that's contained within the card. Of course, I've got all the detail here on my tarot cheat sheets. Both there's a bundle you can get where you just get the simple ones for those of you who are starting out. And then there is the bundle that gives you the whole lot, my more detailed notes as well as the simple ones as well. And I'll make sure that that link is in the comments if you would like to purchase my cheat sheets. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notifications bell. And of course, I'll make sure the link to join my newsletter list is there as well, so that you get reminders about my new videos, which go up on my channel. Well, hopefully now every every 3 to 4 days, I try to put a video up. I've had a little bit of a break because I've been on holidays and doing other things, but I'm back to it, and we are working our way through the symbolism of the Rider-Waite-Smith. And I can't wait actually to get to the minor arcana, because we're going to be looking at the interpretation of each one's of the sets of the cards based on the numerology, which is going to be fabulous. So take care, everybody, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.